Some girls are born with silver spoons. Others are born with scars. In the small, dusty village of Obaala, where cracked earth met tired feet, lived a girl named Amara. She was only 22, but her eyes looked much older. The kind of eyes that had seen too much pain and too little love. Since her mother died, Amara had lived with Papa Ez. Her once loving father turned bitter drunk. He remarried Mama F, a cruel woman who treated Amara like an unpaid maid. Her days were filled with firewood, ash water, and insults that soaked her skin deeper than any rain. One cold evening, Papa Ez called her into the backyard. His breath reeked of palm wine, his eyes hollow. "You're going with him," he said, not even looking her in the eye. Standing beside him was Chidi, the quiet village boy who once worked their farmland. He was dressed in a simple shirt, dust on his shoes, and a hesitant smile on his lips. "I can't pay him what I owe," Papa Ez muttered, "so I'm giving him you." Amara's heart stopped. "Me? I'm not a thing to be given," but the words never left her lips. She stared at the cracked earth, too stunned to cry, too broken to scream. The next morning, with a small bag of clothes and a heart heavy like stone, she followed Chidi to the city. They boarded a rickety bus, passing forests, markets, and unknown towns. Amara sat quietly, afraid of what waited for her. Would he beat me? Would he starve me? Was I now his slave or something worse? Chidi didn't speak much, but his eyes were kind. He bought her roasted corn and water along the way. He didn't touch her. He didn't even look at her like property. When they reached the city, Amara was surprised. The compound was neat and fenced, with flowers by the wall. Chidi led her to a modest boy's quarters behind a grand main house. "This is where I stay," he said. "The owner of the house, Madam Clara, she lets me live here free, as long as I guard the compound." "So, we're not staying in one room together?" He shook his head, smiling. "You'll have the bed, I'll manage the chair. You're safe here, Amara, I promise." She looked around. It wasn't large, but it had a roof that didn't leak. 2 days later, Amara woke up to the smell of eggs frying in a pan. Sunlight spilled softly through the window. No shouting, no curses, just quiet. She stretched, then walked into the kitchen. There was Chidi, humming to himself while turning something in a frying pan. "Good morning," she said gently. He turned and smiled. "Morning, Amara. Hope you slept like a baby, because you looked like one." She smiled for the first time in years. After breakfast, Chidi handed her a small wrapped bag. "Wear this. We're going somewhere." "Where?" she asked, curious. "You'll see," he said. "Just dress simply, neatly. You'll like her." They walked through a short pathway into the main house. The door opened and a graceful woman with silver-streaked hair and wise eyes welcomed them. "Good morning, Madam Clara," Chidi said. "Morning, Chidi. And this beautiful lady must be the one you spoke about?" Chidi smiled. "Yes, Ma. This is Amara, my wife." Amara's heart skipped. wife. She had forgotten that this was what she was now. Madame Clara took her hand gently. "You're welcome, Amara. I already like you. You have a peaceful spirit. This house is big enough for kindness. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask." Amara nodded shyly. "Thank you, Ma." Later that evening, after cleaning the small kitchen and sweeping the room, Amara sat quietly on the bed. Chidi was repairing a drawer nearby. "Chidi," she said softly. "Yes?" "Can I tell you something?" He looked up. "Always." She played with the edge of a wrapper. "When Papa Eze gave me to you, I felt discarded, like trash, like something he couldn't afford to feed anymore." Her voice trembled. "I thought maybe you'd be worse, that you'd shout at me or hurt me." Chidi stood slowly, listening. "But you didn't. You gave me a bed, food, silence, safety. You gave me back my breath." Tears welled in her eyes. "I don't love you yet, Chidi, but I'm no longer afraid." Chidi knelt beside her and held her hand gently. "Amara, I don't want you to rush. I just want to protect your peace. That's all." She smiled faintly. "Thank you for treating me like a queen even before I knew I was one." Chidi smiled back. "You've always been a queen, Amara. You were just hidden in the wrong palace."